They stepped it up. As Meriday and Coach have always been great players for Black. So the bans will actually be on Infernal Shrines and Dragonshire. So the Dragonshire ban is actually done by Raven themselves, which is odd because it's their best map, tied with Tomb of the Spider Queen. And map pick will go to MVP Black. They'll take first ban, and Black will take Battlefield of Eternity for our first map. Been seeing a whole lot of it, so
let's see. I wanted to see this map more and more. We had 2 series, and this will be the second one coming out from MVP Black versus Raven this time. Let's see what else we have coming up. Are we going to see ETC once more? Blossom did take ETC in game number 1 right before this series, and they did lose because I feel like the change in the trait costed them a lot, especially for the racing of Immortal, even during team fights. Let's see if either of these teams actually pick up ETC anymore.
yeah, that's the question mark we had earlier. Did get chosen by Blossom, as Raven wants to first ban cards.
I think that's an okay choice actually. Against Meriday, I think that's a very good.
Do you though? Because
snipe.
for me, I'm like, it's really strong against Meriday, but like, why would you do that though? It's like it's strong, but like
I'm thinking in terms of Raven's side, they have to try something new. And
okay, not really a fan of this. What are they going to try to support choke against the best support in the world?
it's going to be tough, but I think rather than choking on everyone else's, because they have the first pick, and just picking Mouth, go into support choke with second ban even will be possible.
This is MVP Black's 4th best map, by the way, at 5-2, 7 games played. To see, they definitely want to go down this path. They pick up Alfurion first. MVP Black, if they're even slightly concerned, they can grab their support here, and they'll still have Karazim available, which is Meriday's best support.
Okay, actually going to leave up Vala Ariel open because Malfurion is already taken for Raven. They cannot take both at the same time.
So Muradin and Zeratul, obviously great rotation here for Black. They don't need to take a support right now because even if Karazim is banned, they can run the Rhaegar here. I mean, the opportunities are endless. You know, in the past, back in 2015, early 2016, support choking was the way. We've moved into a new era where there's so many viable supports. If you're a top-tier support player, as Meriday is, not going to be too concerned about that choke. Yeah,
of course, Meriday has a huge support hero pool. He was basically the only one who already thought Uther was great before the rework. He even played some Uther games against the L5 in Towers of Doom. I remember that one specifically, and they even won that game with Uther.
He has 7 heroes played in his support pool currently this season in Korea. The one Uther game you mentioned was played already. He's 1-0 on it. Tyrael comes out here with the Sergeant Hammer, so they have the ranged poke, and they're winning that side of things on this map with already Leeming removed. So Black is looking to remove a hero from Raven. It's a tough call. They might remove ETC if they're afraid of it. Yep. Not the strongest ban in the world with his rework coming in, but I feel like it's really strong just considering the pairing with Tyrael. And there's the Karazim ban. They're really just trying to isolate Meriday out.
I think the answer is very straight for Meriday, just picking Uther later on. But that's going to lack on their sustain for sure. And Raven is really going for sustain for shields coming out from Tyrael, Malfurion's heals, and Innervate. Also Sergeant Hammer, just constant pokes. But they do have Zeratul on the other side.
So the question is, if they're going to run Uther, do they run the Greymane with it? Seems like that would be the logical choice. Is what we saw earlier from Blossom.
Burst damage with armor and burst heal to counter the sustain.
Volstad. So it doesn't look
really
likely.
Pushing this. Saka is really pushing his Volstad in all battlegrounds. It doesn't matter which battleground he plays.
Oh my god, Jkuff, I just realized that
what?
Siegfried, the Griffin, has a hook hand with this skin. Never noticed that before. Alright, Sorry, I tried to
It
point
is
out.
a
I'm like, maybe
Buchanan, yeah.
Stormlord Falstad is not as good
It's a
anymore.
legendary skin. Come on, it has to be a special. And there's the Uther pickup from Merryday.
Well, this is I think a wonky comp so far. They could still run the Grey Mane, and I'd be okay with this. I feel like they do need something like that. Otherwise, I think the Rhaegar might have even still been better here. Raven, they are looking for a secondary tank here, very likely. Arthas is available. Compare well with Ethereal.
I would like to see Greymane with Varian, actually, for targets he's seeing.
That would be cool.
Something like Uther or Falstad even.
Well, you could take the, you could take the Zeratul, grab him there, taunt him. You have a good secondary tank with that, and also, the Greymane you were talking about pairs well with Ethereal. Takes it away from Uther as well for MVP Black. So it's going to be Arthas, but Nazeebo coming in for the ranged poke, which means I think that Black has to commit to the Greymane here. What other options do they have?
Or they can switch things around and go back all the way 2016 or 2015 MVP Black and go Sylvanas.
Oh. I thought you were going to mention the Jaina. I'm like, well.
Jaina also fits pretty well with the Void Prison.
Yeah, we could see Sylvanas here, but I feel like you don't want a super squishy hero right now, but if they win the first Immortal, it just goes well for them, and it crushes the Nazeebo pick in terms of scaling, because the Sylvanas is intending to win the game so hard that Nazeebo never gets that scaling advantage.
Let's see what other burst MVP Black comes out. Raven is going all the way sustain longer fights, try to draw as long as possible here.
I think if you have good target selection onto the Malfurion and you run the Greymane, he's the better choice here. But it's going to be Cassia. So, all right. Already craziness from Black, improving the draft. So Sake is popping off in the chair. Looks like he's pretty happy. It's likely going to be Sake on the Falstad, but it's possible they put reset on it and let Sake do his thing on Cassia here to change things up. As it is time, guys, for game number 1. Raven has won 2 maps in their HGC career. MVP Black wants to take the top spot over L5. Will we see Raven topple this Titan? Feels unlikely, but they're going to give it a shot here as we go into game number 1 on Battlefield of Eternity. In blue, Raven, Joju on Malfurion, Hamlin on Sergeant Hammer, NMX on Nazeebo, Diong on Tyrael, and HAD2 on Arthas.
And in red, MVP Black, Sake on Falstad, Reset on Cassia, Test on Norden, Kyocha on Zeratul, and Merryday on Uther.
It's the Merryday spray. It says, why didn't you guys pick Varian like G-Club said?
That's right.
It's exactly what that spray is.
Question marks on the Varian.
Varian's like, I mean, I thought it was perfect for the situation. So we're not going to see the Q build this time.
Actually going for charge.
Yeah.
Going for defend build here.
This is Sake on the Falstad, who, by the way, is looking for stack series, not going Caesar Marksman for the map.
So they literally want all burst. They want to pick off targets. They do not have Li Ming for them to get resets, but they have to really. Against the comp like Raven, they really want to have sustain. Young's getting very low for the moment, but sustain is here from Joju. The heals.
Merryday going into auto attacks at level 1 instead of the Q build we saw earlier. Uh-oh, reset gets caught. Burst Uther heal is going to be good enough to save him. So we do see this exchange ends. They back off. The solo lane is going to be between Zeratul and Arthas currently. Actually, this reset's doing a ton of damage right now. If you kind of fight and continue moving, obviously, Sergeant Hammer will get destroyed by Acacia because of her trait and her damage reduction from auto attacks. So, really need to be careful about extended fights. It's the Sergeant Hammer in this case.
Also, that's quite strange for Merryday to pick the Hammer quest there at level 1.
I don't even know what that is.
You need the basic attacks. You bring in the basic attack. You get a cooldown reduction on your hammer E skill later on once you finish it. By 1 second, I believe. It's gonna help on the target stun later on, but it's gonna be super hard to finish the quest first of all.
Yeah, gonna be pretty tough.
Let's see what Meryday's
Didn't even
choice.
recognize that icon. We never see that. Oh boy, there's the kill on the Nazebo already here. Dion gets the Aldruins away. Well, this is already starting off well for Black, obviously, with the pick. Kyocha continuing to harass here. Hamlin very well protected, though, by the Arthas. Super strong in this case, defensively against the Zeratul play.
I guess Uther with armor on himself sometimes now that he can also go in and try to do a little bit more damage because they do want to pick on. They do need the picks coming out.
Or at least threaten them enough like this to where they can win the race in the exchange.
Also, even if you die and sacrifice yourself, you can also heal with your trait later on after you fall down.
True. And you have pretty decent healing output while doing so, but going to be a half shield immortal here for MVP Black. Just wanted to help delay, and that he did. So actually ends up being about a third shields here, which is still quite powerful for MVP Black. As we are going to see them look for the push. Oh boy, already H82 getting caught here. He should escape. Tis looking for the body blocks, but such a good exchange for Black, even though Tis took a lot of damage because he's Muradin. That's only temporary, whereas the damage taken by H82 forces him to actually tap and use the healing fountain. So they're going to get this full wall. Top lane's still dominated by Zeratul up there as he harasses. It's not going to be the most powerful immortal MVP Black has ever had. Did you get the stun here, actually? And there's the Fend coming in. Doesn't have his level 7 just yet, but that did quite a bit of damage.
Line from Cassia, but that's not enough for now. But after they hit level 7 or 10, that's going to be a pick for sure. And with that kind of positioning, he will be punished every single time.
So they get the fort here with that really nasty exchange where so much damage was done. And pushes them halfway to level 7. They're going to take these Siege Giants, and they may use this extra pressure to try to take the neutral camp at top. You could see actually in the top lane that there was a rotation towards it by Kyocha, but he decides not to commit. And he also it's been conveyed to him, communicated that the rotation is coming top. So it's actually Black is going to come up to deny this. They could have alternatively invade and stole the Fallen Shaman camp, but I feel like this is the better opportunity, especially if they hit 7 on their way up, as they do. And even if they get this cap, Raven is going to have a high cost if they lose this team fight. Tist comes in and they just walk away, so they've done the camp now for MVP Black. And here is going to be the first pick off. It's on to H82.
Well, Merydday already had the quest finished for himself.
And let's not forget, G-Clef, they went for this, which the most puzzling decision, the reason why this is such a puzzling decision to me is they never had any answer for Sake in the bot lane and this siege push. So just basically said, okay, we're going to go try take this in a bad situation where we have Black against us. They have the information, we're trying to take this. And if they delay it even, we're going to lose push in the bot. They stole it. And Raven didn't even commit to fighting there, so they kind of lost on both ends. They can't punish Sake here. He just walks out casually, or flies out, I should say.
We even got more stacks on the queue. It's building up and already working on this Immortal on the other side. It's actually spawned for Raven for now. It's actually a very good position, but there's Kyocha all the way. Very good spotting by Joju. He even gets rooted.
Nice root.
He has to blink away, so Raven is safe for some time.
Merydday doesn't even want to heal Kyocha here. He wants to only focus his heals on. Oh, hold that thought. Ooh, Tist doesn't want to get. He doesn't want to heal Tist either. Tist should be able to heal. He only wants to focus on Falstad and Cassia for the heals. So Kyocha comes back.
Got the Uther beam, a slight heal.
A lot of spider damage done. Widowmaker's completes here at 6 minutes. Looking for the invade here once again.
Now Kyocha's coming around. This is a dangerous positioning.
For Hamlin is the most dangerous position. Look at this. They see him, but just forcing Hamlin out of the fight. And reset a bigger opportunity here. Gets the heals now coming in. But actually, it's not enough. They're going to have to back off. They went super deep in. And even though Kyoto was in position to try to harass, he didn't get that damage done. Now looking for the pick onto Hamlin. Forced away as well in that situation. So this ends up being a minor win here for Raven. I like that Sake immediately comes down to push the bot lane. Very good understanding of when to move away when the pressure stops.
Raven does have the sustain, but they're going to tap onto the fountain. Come back. Looks like there's a off-camera kill onto Sergeant Hammer.
Looks like Sergeant Hammer definitely got dove upon there by Coach as the Aldruins is trying to trick MVP Black, but Tist was there. He was waiting. Just going to clear the wave. Going to help relieve a little bit of that pressure, but at a high cost of his life.
That's right.
Level 10 around the horizon for Black now, as they will have a about 95% shield immortal coming through.
Ooh, this is scary. Raven is already 2 levels behind. Black's gonna make this push a very strong push for sure, because they have the heroics, they have almost full shielded immortal coming to the top now. I think they can actually go for that team white if Kyoto can keep on stalling the time to the backline of Raven and just Void Prison the entire backline, just win the clean team fight. So instead they're just sieging on this bottom lane, trying to catch up some EXP.
Here comes Sake in for the flight. Cassia actually holding. She might go Valkyries here. We'll see. Void Prison coming down. There's the burst onto Ham when he's the first target. And it is the Valkyrie coming in. Unfortunately, not going to connect there.
Doesn't even matter. There's all the kills happening. There's a gust.
Oh, the gust. They want to block them out. Tis coming in for the body block. Can't body block out the Tyrael, but they get several picks. The Immortal not dealt with had so many shields that he's just sitting there with the ranged attacks. And they're going to look to get both keep walls at minimum here. Still no 10 for Raven. No one's alive and able to soak in the bot lane. Hamlin just now gets here. Well, there's no wave to soak.
By the time they hit 10, I think Black can actually go all the way to 13. Spider does miss right onto the ground. And this Immortal is still pushing its way all the way to the keep. They want to have this quick game as possible.
All right, looking for this fight. The Valkyrie Grasp is going to be up in 10 seconds here for Cassia. They have Divine Shield for the retreat if things get nasty. Let's see, Sake uses the last of his mana to barrel roll away. Spiders here will expire.
Gust in 6, so they can disengage easily out of this.
Yeah, I think he just barely has enough mana for that. Maybe he does not. I think he would have used it if he does. Okay, just gets it. There you go. There's the Gust.
Barely enough. No casualties, but so much EXP for your team. Raven trying to make the chase completed, but not enough.
So they get 10 and they go for the chase. They don't use any heroics, but they lost a keep, and that's the key factor here. Is it's the keep factor, if you will, which means that the bot lane is always going to be pushed. Sake is always going to be threatening the core. Get backdoor at any moment.
And that's a big problem for Raven. They really want to have a long game as long as possible. They have Naziba on their side, but here's just trying to punish as H82 steps over the line.
Okay, Kyocha is actually not in position to fight here, but looks like Tis doesn't care. He's going to drop the Avatar here. H82 is completely isolated.
Let's see, both tanks, but more damage coming out from Black for sure. And there's a perfect sanctification to answer. They didn't lose a single person here.
Tist is going to have to heal up here, but look at this giant push that's coming right now. Even these catapults are starting to help out in the team fight. Tist going to heal up here with his trait. Meridae's looking for some more point-click stuns. Grabbing there with a Valkyrie onto Hamlin. And this is going to be game over, G-Clef. Kyocha's not done yet.
It almost looked like Sergeant Hammer was trying to do a parse light there. And the Young's just stalling time.
Okay, well.
But going to fall no mana either.
The bigger issue is that there are going to be 3 catapults on the core. And also these siege goats.
They just want to go for this Immortal, possibly the last one. They're going to push all the way to the top and all the way to the core is what MVP Black is looking for right now.
Good delay tactics by Raven. They kept themselves alive a little bit longer. They're probably still dead, but there's always a chance. If they can have a good sanctification like they did in the last fight, maybe that's the way they win it. Always feels bad when you're the Uther has to clear. Horrible feeling. But he's just going to come down here now after clearing that top wave.
Now this is a very good spawn for Raven.
25 seconds though, until sanctification is ready. Twilight Dream and 10. That is the way to win this fight, is a good Twilight Dream. Sanctification to allow the engage in the fight so Nazeebo could get up there and do that spider damage.
And the constant poke is actually coming out from Black a lot, especially resets Cassia. This constant Q poke, even if the Q build is not the way he built onto Cassia. And Sokka has been doing damage the entire time. They're just stalling time at the bottom. Cassia seems to be the target that Raven is trying to go for, but just not enough at the moment.
Obviously, Divine Shield's still available. I don't know if Meridy's even really used it this game, so gonna see Tist Dwarf Toss over the wall, and Sake is gonna finish off this cap, or rather this Immortal. As you guys can see, the catapults are soon to be on the core for Raven. And this is gonna be the bot pressure of the catapults, 2 of them. Will have to be dealt with right now as the push of the nearly fully shielded Immortal will be in the top lane. Black has a ton of tools. The Valkyrie's Grasp Heroic will be available for Cassia in 20 seconds. And Divine Shield, just such a powerful tool for the engage for Kyocha if he wants to go super deep. Tist is just looking for an opportunity to grab Hamlin as well. Doesn't have the vision yet, but I think they have a good idea now. Tist gets the stun on the Hamlin. Here we go. Look, goes over the wall. And there's going to look to grab him. Misses the grab, though, is the reset attempt there.
Sokka flies in from the other side, and Jojo's even hit by the boss. There's the Twilight Dream and Sanctification to drop for their safety, but they can't even finish up Cassia alone.
All right, well, Hamlin's already dead. There's the Void here, removing Malfurion from the fight. He already Twilight Dreamed anyways, and Tist is going to turn around here with reset. There's the Fen kill. NMX going to be the next to die, and that is game over here. A total full wipe for MVP Black, 16 kills to 1. They will take this first set on Battlefield of Eternity. Very one-sided game here. First win for Cassia and Uther here at HGC Korea.
That's right, MVP Black. They are the dominant team of the series, of course. Raven really needs to, maybe they need to rethink the way of thinking how MVP Black will respond to their draft.